Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good to see everybody in here tonight. Amen. All right, let me get to the top. All right, Soaring Free, number one in here tonight. Oh, wow, girl. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being a member 24 months. May God bless you all. Hey, girl. God bless you too. We appreciate that. Amen. We do appreciate that. Number two, Lisa. How you doing, sweetie? Hey, PG. Much love, beautiful lady. Much love to you, sweetie. God bless. And let's see. Who is number three in here tonight? Ha, little PG. All right. Prayers, Miss Norway, and everyone. Hey, girl, prayers to you and yours. God bless. Good to see you. And Miss Justice, number four. All right. There we go. There we go. I appreciate it. God bless. Good to see everybody in here tonight. Much love to you. Much love to you, Miss Justice. Let me see who else is in here. Hey, Holler Boo. How you doing tonight? Lisa says, I hope we stay on summer and not like the trashy channels talking about other things. Aw. Hey, I'm going to do my best. Right? You know how that grapevine goes. You know, PG's always listening. I'm always listening. I get into that gossip. I get into the gossip. Can't help it. Right? If that's a woman's nature. That's a woman's nature. We gotta talk about something. Right? Hey, Ann. Hi, good to see you, girlfriend. Much love, PG, and all. Much love to you. You know it. Let's see. Hey, Deputy Sheriff. Good to see you. Good to see you in here tonight. God bless. Much love to you. And let's see. Italian Cookie. Good to see you. Hey, Brat. Good evening, PG. How's the little man doing? Little man is doing good. Doing good. Much love. God bless. Summer Moon, Utah Wells. Everyone in chat, prayers and love. Miss Norway, prayers and love. Amen. Hey, girl, I appreciate that. Much love and prayers to you. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true, Deputy Sheriff. Absolutely. Absolutely. I heard that, Italian Cookie. I heard that. You know, I'm going to tell you, men are always stronger than women, right? I mean, I'm going to take a split second here. I want to update you on Genesis case. The little girl, the sweet little beautiful girl that disappeared around Christmas time. Mother didn't report her missing until just a few weeks back, and she had actually been missing since around Christmas. They have video footage of the mother taking her to. They say she was in a duffel bag. They're actually looking. They're looking for out in the landfill, as they did Quentin Simon. We're very familiar with Quentin's case, right? And anyway, they're not giving up hope. They're not giving up any hope in finding her. They're going to try their best to get a hold of that duffel bag to find Genesis. And just keep the prayers going up for her. Keep the prayers going up that, they find her, and the mother gets exactly what she deserves. I'm sure she's going to get it anyway. But she is in jail. She claimed the same thing as, Candace claimed, and the same thing that, most of these, um, evil humans claim, right? That the child just got up and walked away. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. And but I wanted to give you an update on her. She has not been found, but they're diligently doing everything they can to find her. Same way with Emmanuel. He has not been found, but law enforcement ain't giving up on finding him. The dad confessed to, to destroying the little boy, and he's in jail, right? And I believe the mother's still in jail as well, which she should be. So that's two cases, that have pretty much been solved. It's just a matter of finding the children. There's a lot going on out here in these missing kids cases. So I did want to update everybody on that before I move on to talk about JLR, because he is a big topic out here in the YouTube community. Women know, one thing we know is they can overpower us, right? Their men are always a lot stronger than women. Don't get me wrong. Some women will surprise you. Some women are, pretty damn strong themselves, right? Some women pack some strength. I'm not going to say they don't. And some women, will give you a run for your money. They'll give you a run for your money. But, they still, no matter how strong, and we learned this through men getting into women's sports, right? That women cannot hold a candle to a man. He's going to win, right? They said it's not fair because they're stronger, they're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster. That's just, that's the difference. God made men stronger than women because the man is supposed to be, not just the provider, but, he's supposed to be the protector. Sometimes women need protection against the man, right? Sometimes women need protection against a man. That's why they have so many women's shelters in the United States. Hey, Kim. Good to see you, girlfriend. Hey, my lovely Australia. How are you tonight, PT? Much love to you, girl. Absolutely. And to Maddie. Absolutely. I appreciate that. Australia. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. There you go. We're going to talk about that tonight. But I'm going to get Pandu is not stronger than a woman. Yeah, he is. Believe it or not, Hunter's dad is going to be, he could overpower a woman. Absolutely. Men have more strength than a woman does. If a man really wants to overpower a woman, that man can do that, you know. It's just, you know, they can do it. You know, if you don't have nothing, I'm saying hand to hand, hand to hand, you ain't got anything to protect yourself, okay? A man could overpower you. He will overpower you. They're just stronger. They're just stronger. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. A woman could land a pretty good amount, you know, amount of pressure on someone. Absolutely. I'm not going, I'd be the first to let you know. You know, there's some strong women out there, but I'm going to be the first to let you know it's no match. It's no match for a man. And, you know, I think some men came out. You know, saying, oh, you know, women abuse us. We get abused. Mentally, maybe. Mentally. But I don't know. Hey, Kiri, I appreciate that. Absolutely. New member. Hey, Kiri's been here forever and a day, and I appreciate all the support for Summer's channel, girlfriend. God bless you. But yeah, I mean, you know, I think some of them did that. I think some of them did that to gain some ground, because, you know, I seen a few of them that, you know, kind of like came forth and act like they, you know, that they was abused. I'm going to tell you something. If they were abused, it's because they allowed it, because they, you know, they certainly could have prevented it. You know, it's kind of like this is on them. But women are different. Women are different. When a man, you know, comes at a woman, she cannot defend herself against that unless, as I said, she's willing to, you know, do more. But most men catch you off guard, right? They catch you off guard. You know, they catch you in the car, right? They'll catch you, you're coming out of a restaurant, and they'll catch you in the car, or they'll catch you in the car as you're going somewhere. A lot of times, you know, they'll catch you right after putting the kids to bed, you know, or early in the morning, right? Sometimes the middle of the night. They just catch you off guard. You'll be in the kitchen cooking. They'll come in, you know, and catch you off guard. Kitchen's probably a bad place, right? That would be a bad place to try to catch me off guard, for sure. That would be a really bad place. You wouldn't want to do that. I don't care. You know, I don't care. I don't care how damn big you are. I don't care how strong you are. That isn't a place. I got my thoughts, you know, on the bigger you are type thing. I got my own little thoughts on that. So you wouldn't want to catch me off guard in the kitchen. Probably wouldn't want to catch me off guard anywhere. That wouldn't be good. I don't play like that. But a lot of women get scared. They get afraid. They end up getting abused. And women have to understand, you know, the number one thing to understand in a relationship is, if someone can abuse you, they do not love you. The first time a man puts hands on you, do not make an excuse. That is where you make your biggest mistake, is by making an excuse for what he done. Oh, he didn't like me looking looking at, he thought I was looking at someone else, or he thought I was talking to someone else. He's just jealous. He loves me. Well, honey, you just made a big mistake, because he don't love you. He loves control. He loves to be able to tell you what you can do and what you cannot do. It is not going to get better now. It's going to get worse, right? Now, now he feels he can tell you who to look at or not look at, who to talk to, not talk to. He's going to tell you what you can wear, what you can't wear. He's going to rule the roost. And before you know it, he's going to tell you he don't like this tone of voice, or he don't like that tone of voice. He's going to tell you, he don't like the questions you're asking him. He don't like the fact that you're not taking care of this or that when he forgot to do it, when it was his responsibility to be doing it. He's going to put it back on you. And the next thing you know is you are being mentally, physically, and every other way abused, right? You're getting abused. And, Deputy Sheriff, you are hilarious. That's a good one. That is a good one. Absolutely. Right? I like that. But we don't know the whole story. We don't know, and I don't judge people. I don't like to judge people, without hearing both sides. But I'm going to tell you what, I don't, to be honest with you, I don't need to hear both sides, to be perfectly honest with you, because I'm going to tell you something. Before, here's, my thinking. And this is the way the law thinks as well, okay? Every court system in America, every law enforcement officer in America, every normal-minded human being in America, this is how they think. And I'm going to tell you how they think right now. They think like this. If you do not like someone, you can make them leave. If they're in your house, you can make them leave. If you are in their house, you can pack your stuff up and you can leave. You do not have to stay there, or they do not have to stay there if it's your home, okay? You are not bound to no one. You have your own person, your own two legs, your own two hands. You are not attached to this person. You are your own individual human being. And you can walk the hell off anytime you want to. And there's nothing no one can do about it. You can have them walk off anytime. And there's nothing no one can do about it. What I'm trying to say is, if you hurt someone, okay? If you're living with someone and you decide to do to them what allegedly JLR was supposed to do to this woman, who, after all, needed surgery, right? She needed surgery. That's how bad it was. That's pretty bad, man. That's pretty bad. When someone's needing surgery, that's pretty bad. JLR did not need to abuse this woman, right? If he did not need to abuse her. What he needed to do is open the door and tell her to go. Before he abused her, he should have gotten rid of her. If someone is driving you to the point that, you may abuse them or want to abuse them, you need to open the door and make them leave. Because if you proceed and you do abuse them, then you know what the law is, right? You know what the law is. The law says you're not allowed to abuse another human being. The law says you're probably going to go to prison. You're probably going to go to jail, right? That's the law. And, JLR knows the law. He's been in trouble before. So he knows what the law is. And he knows that he has no rights to put his hands on nobody, on no one. He knows, what follows up if you do. And I'm going to tell you, before I put my hands on someone, I'm going to open the door and just tell them to go. You got to go, man. I'm not going to abuse anyone. And I'm not going to let anyone abuse me. I don't want to be abused, and I ain't going to be abusing, right? Now, if he didn't like this woman good enough to treat her with the utmost respect, to show her the love, kindness, and caring that a good woman deserves, he needed to let her go. And find someone he can treat like that. Someone he, that he cares enough about to keep his freaking hands to himself, right? To keep his hands to himself. And, I don't know. I love GLR, right? I love the guy. I love, everything that he was doing, everything he was doing for, the missing kids. I mean, he's great. He's great at what he does. He's great at going out there and getting information and, and being a big plus by bringing firsthand information to everybody about, the cases, right? About all the cases. He's very brave. He's very brave. He was down at the border, right? Down at the border of Mexico, and he's walking up to these people trying to come over into America, right? And that, most people wouldn't want to do that, right? That's pretty scary to walk up to, people you know nothing about. That's in big groups. And, and say, hey, you don't belong here. What are you doing? He's pretty brave. He knocked on Don and Candace's hotel door, right? And told Candace, where's Summer? He does some good stuff. But I can't condone, him abusing a woman. If he did, if this is all true, I can't condone that. Because, I'm going to tell you something. Women need to stick together. Women really need to stick together. I mean, you've got nieces and cousins and sisters. You got girlfriends, you daughters. Women we don't want our women being abused. We don't, this ain't the 1800s. This ain't the early 1900s. This ain't the mother freaking 50s and 60s and 70s, where they were dividing the men from the women. Women are supposed to learn how to cook, and they're supposed to learn how to clean. I think everybody needs to know how to cook, and everybody needs to know how to clean, right? Because I'm going to tell you a little secret. God made woman as a man's helpmate. She's your helpmate. She's supposed to pick you up. If you fall, she's supposed to help you up. And if she falls, you're supposed to help her up. How can she help you up if you're abusing her to the point that she can't help herself? You're not supposed to abuse a woman. And a woman ain't supposed to be abusing no man either. I mean, if you're out to abuse somebody, you need to just stay by yourself, right? You need to stay by yourself. But here's the thing. Men and women need to know how to do everything equally. And I'm going to tell you why. Because one day, even if you get a man and you're married to this man for, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, somebody's got to go. Somebody's going to go first. Now, if the woman goes first, who's going to cook his meals? Who's going to clean the house? Who's going to do what that woman was taught to do and the man wasn't? That man needs to know how to cook and clean and take care of himself in case his wife goes first. Because last time I checked, nobody's looking for a freaking old man to marry up and wait on, okay? And nobody's looking for an old woman to marry up and wait on either. So, you better learn to clean and cook and take care of yourself, right? That's what you have to do. You need to do that. Just saying. And, but we live in a world today where there's no respect. There's no respect, y'all. There's no respect for men. There's no respect for women. There's no respect for children. There's no respect for old people. They just ain't no damn respect in this world, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's what PG's talking about. And I'm hearing it. I don't know if it's true, not true. I don't know. I heard, I heard what I'm hearing is, she had he supposedly, allegedly, she got punched in the eye. She got her nose broke. I guess she got her ribs. I guess, he put her ribs into her. Man, that's blunt force right there, dude. That is some blunt force trauma right there. If he really did this, that was blunt force. And she said, allegedly from what she said, he would tell her, if she didn't do exactly all the things he wanted her to do, that, she wasn't even going to eat. She wasn't getting no food. That something she liked, she wasn't going to get it. I don't know. I don't know. I know that they're in court. I know that he's supposed to have to show paperwork, how much he makes, he makes out here in the YouTube world. And, from what I'm hearing, around $4,000 or more a week, $4,000 or more a week. Supposedly he's making, over, almost anywhere from 12,000 and up per month. 12,000 and up per month on YouTube. That's the figures that I'm hearing. Shit. PG's lucky if I got enough to get, to pay StreamYard. I do a happy dance. PG does a happy dance if I have enough to pay StreamYard. Okay? I'm like, these people really love me. They really care about me, man. You know, damn, this month they really helped the channel out. You know, I didn't have to come out of my pocket for StreamYard. You know, so I don't, how he's making that kind of money. I don't know. But then again, I think he gets like, you know, thousands and thousands of views, right? He has like sometimes 2,000 to 3,000 people watching him. So, you know, he's making quite a bit. Matter of fact, he has to slow down the chat because it's going so fast, right? He has to slow it down so people can actually read it. So, but he's on a lot of different topics. I mean, like I said, he covers, the border. He covers politics. He covers religion. He covers missing kids cases. He covers, older people's cases. He covers, he just covers a lot of stuff. And, he's even a storm chaser, right? He's even a storm chaser. He's out there chasing the storms. So, exciting to watch, right? Exciting to watch. He made $30K the first week of Nancy's case. Whoa. Yeah. That's a lot of grandmas. That's a lot of grandmas that he made, right? Hell yeah. Whoa. He was going for the gusto. But, did he do it? I don't know. But there's no excuse. No, if he did do it, there was absolutely, positively no damn excuse. Okay? There's no damn excuse to violently hurt another human being any way, form, or how. That's just evil. It's evil. You have no business laying hands on anyone on this earth. You have no business trying to have control over other people's lives. Each human's life belongs to them. If you want to give them advice, if you want to give them some friendly advice, and drop it, great. And I'm even talking about our children. I'm talking about our children. Our children's lives belong to them. Yeah, you can step in and you can give, some friendly advice. Don't push the ticket. Don't push the ticket. You have to, this is, if my daughter got with someone who's abusive, I'd say, look, that's your problem. That's your problem. Right? If she wants to get with someone who's abusive and she wants to let that someone abuse her up and make excuses for him, that's on her. That's on her. Some people have to learn the hard way. I would say you need to get away from them. I would say that, it's going to only get worse. I would say, the things that need to be said. But you know what? I'm smart enough to know that it would be her choice, a grown adult, it would be her choice, not mine. Right? It would be her choice. I cannot control that. Hopefully my daughter ain't stupid enough to get with someone who will abuse her in the future. Hopefully she don't. Hopefully I've raised her right. I tell my daughter, if a man hits you, he don't love you. If he hits you one time, you better walk away and not ever go back. Right? You better not go back. Because I'm going to let you know something. It don't get better. It only will get worse. And and they don't love you. They don't care about you. Don't fantasize in your mind that piece of crap cares, because they don't. You better face the facts, girl. You better face reality. And stay the hell away from that. Like I tell my daughter, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Right? If a man, decides he wants to do something like that, well, you know what? He just opened a mother freaking door. He just opened a door to see what it feels like. That's my thinking, right? That's my line of thinking. My line of thinking is he wants to know what it's like to sit on the ground and call out for his mama. Don't put your hands on me. Hell no. I don't know what makes women. I don't know. I do not understand what makes a woman take a man's abuse, right? I don't know. I mean, I had, abusive boyfriends, right? I think all women run into those ones that, why were you talking to him? What was you doing talking to her or talking to him? Like they can control who you talk to, who you hang around with, right? Those people who want to isolate you. And that's the first sign, is when they want to isolate you. They don't want you talking to your girlfriends or hanging with your girlfriends. They don't want you talking to no other guys that you knowed for years. They don't want you really hanging around your family. They'll get to where they don't want you around your family, right? You need to stay isolated. That's number one sign right there, baby, that you're about to start getting abused. And this kind of stuff, it creeps up on you. It creeps up on you because you're in love. That love will get you. You're in love and oh, I love him. I care so much about you and me, baby. You and me, baby. Oh no, he cares so much. He loves me so much. Yeah. Keep saying that to yourself. If he loved you, I'm going to tell you, when a man don't trust me, it lets me know he can't be trusted. When a man tries to isolate me, it lets me know he can't be trusted. Right? When a man starts thinking he can tell me what to do and not to do, it tells me he's got some mental issues that I don't want to fucking deal with. That's what it tells me. And when a man puts his hands on me, it tells me that he wants a dose of what that feels like. Right? And I tell you what, PG ain't the only woman out there. I'm not the only woman out there. I tell you what, I'm not the only lady out there willing to defend myself if necessary. There's a lot of women like me. They ain't going to take that. They ain't going to take that. You know why? Because they don't have to. They don't have to. There's a lot of women out there that think like men. It's been good, baby, but not that damn good, right? It's been good, but not that good. I'm going to tell you what. Men think that women are like freaking, the city bus and taxi cabs. Another one comes along every minute. Well, that's what I think about them. Right? They can park it and they can unpark it. Open that space back up. There'll be another one coming along. I ain't going to take nobody's crap. And why this woman took JLR's crap, I don't know. I'm not going to say JLR isn't good at what he does to make a living. I'm just going to say that if he really did hurt this woman, he really did what we're hearing he done, well, you know what they say, you do the crime, you should do the time. Right? And I hope she gets justice. I hope the lady gets justice. Because no one should have to endure what this woman said she endured at the hands of this man. I don't care if he's a big YouTuber or not. I don't give a damn. I don't care. That's just my opinion on it. That's right. Don't not get with a jealous and high-tempered man. No. And I'm going to tell you, women, what's the pot of time? Women stuck together. What's the pot of time? Women knew who the bad men were and who wasn't. Women, women would come and, if they saw your daughter affiliating herself with something that wasn't no good, they come and tell you. They come and let you know, hey, I saw your daughter in that, and they tell you all about this so you could put a stop to it. So you could put a stop to it so your daughter didn't endure what someone else's daughter already did at the hands of this person. Women used to stick together, but women don't stick together anymore. They say, oh, what did she do to deserve it? What kind, what did she do? What did she do? I'm going to tell you something. She didn't do a damn thing to deserve that. She did not do anything to deserve that. He could have just put her out the door and kept his hands to himself. He had no rights. If he didn't care about her enough to keep his paws off of her, then he shouldn't have been with her in the first place, right? There you go. There is no green light. There is no green light to hurting another human. A weaker person than yourself. She was sitting there thinking he loved her. That, that he did this because he loved her. She's telling herself, like battered women do. They did it because, because they care, or they did it because they were upset about other stuff. They did it because they're so stressed and they don't, and this is the way they get the stress off of them. They're sorry. Because after they do this stuff, that's what they tell you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I guess, she said that he told her that if she went to law enforcement, or she told that he was going to, unlive her, right? Am I right? Put a 1 in the chat if I'm right, because that's what I heard. That's what I heard. This woman was threatened after he done all of this stuff. That's what I heard. I don't know, but that's, yeah, there's, okay, so people saying, yes, this is true. This is true. That's what I heard. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I look at JLR a lot different than I did before. Like I said, I loved the guy. I thought he was awesome. I know he had a past. I know that he, supposedly, I guess, worked at some bank or something, and was skimming off the top or the bottom or somewhere, to make to financially, gain more for him. And I could call that a moment of weakness. I could call that, working around so much money and stuff. I could say, well, that was a moment of weakness. It's something, that kind of job's very tempting. And I could see how someone could make that kind of mistake. Shouldn't have did it. Should have stuck with God. Should have stayed honest. Should have, got everything the righteous way. Because when you don't, you're going to lose, right? When you don't get things the right way, you're going to end up losing it all anyhow. So you should have gotten it the right way. But I could, I could understand, the temptation there when he was in prison before. But I can't understand this. I cannot understand anyone inflicting pain and fear and misery on another human being. I cannot condone that. Absolutely not. I can't stand up for that kind of stuff. And I can't say, I want to hear the other side, because we're not going to hear the other side. You know why you're not going to hear JLR's side of this? Because he knows he's fucking guilty. He knows he's wrong. If indeed he did it, he knows he's wrong, right? So what can he say? Not a damn thing. He's a grown-ass man, taking advantage of a weaker human being. That's it, man. They ain't no way to sugarcoat this. There's no way to sugarcoat it. But I'm going to say something else while I'm here. Because, I always tell the truth. White boy ain't no better. Okay? White boy is not no better. I hear through the grapevine that his old lady was talking to people about how much he abuses her. And I know for a fact that he was abusing that special needs kid of hers, because he did it more than once in front of everybody on his live. Put a 1 in the chat if you remember that, because I remember. I was watching the damn live when he abused this special needs kid in front of everybody. So, he's no better. He's a piece of crap as well, in my opinion. And Benny Keys, Benny Keys ain't been out here for over a year, because why? He was abusing his ex-old lady. He was abusing her. Hell, the ex before that, he slept with her brother. Okay? So he's no better either. These mother freakers showing their damn face, acting like they're talking about somebody else. They need to be talked about, okay? They need to be talked about. because they are no better than the person that they're talking shit over. Just saying. Yeah, well, I saw it. I absolutely saw what went down at White Boy's. No, White Boy's wife did not whoop him. How to the no? How to the no? She was behind the scenes talking with some of the women about how abusive White Boy was. And I absolutely seen with my own eyes when he was abusive to the special needs kid inside that house. Absolutely, with my own freaking eyes. So nobody's going to tell me about White Boy. Hell no. I'm going to tell you this. I don't know what happened to, I don't know what happened to what he had downstairs. I don't know if it's still, the things that he took to build, you know, to build muscle in other places, or what caused it. Um, but I do know he came up here and backstage and tried to, and wanted to show me something. And I couldn't believe what he was showing me. Right? And I looked, he's supposed to be a man, right? He's supposed to be a man. Of course I'm going to look, I got eyes. I'm like, damn, this guy's always running his mouth. What kind of package is he carrying? He ain't got no package. Right? PG's got more of a package than this mother freaker does. Right? And I just recently had a kid. And I got more of a fucking package than he has. So I'm going to let you know something. I don't even know if he's a man. I don't even know if the dude's, if he's a man. He says he is, but it ain't what I was seeing. It ain't what I saw. Just saying. And that's the truth. I have no reason to lie on this guy. Right? I have no he came up my back chat, wanted to show it. I didn't see anything. Right? He was backstage. If he could come on backstage here and show me, then he could just open his live and show everybody else. What's the difference? He comes, backstage to show me, or if he just shows everybody. He always talks about, he's got big hands and a big package. He had no package at all. I mean, unless it was busy some fucking where else. I didn't see it. Right? I didn't see it. All I saw was his big mother freaking ears. Right? His bald head, his big ears. His mother freaking head that looks like, looked like headhunters caught him and shrunk it. And then he went down to show, his next head, and there was none. Whoever shrunk his first one must have really shrunk the hell out of the second one, because I didn't see none. That's all I got to say, and that's the truth. And I have no reason to lie. Right? No reason. I mean, who do I fear so much that I would defy my God? I don't live for humans. I don't live for humans. I live for the Lord. I live for God Almighty. I'm not out here to spread no damn rumors. I'm out here to spread the truth. And the truth is, I didn't see shit. It might have been on vacation. I don't know. All I know is what I saw. And that's where white boy's concerned, right? I'll be honest with you. I don't like anyone who abuses women. And I sure to hell don't like people who abuses children. One thing I can say about a woman is, you know what? She has a choice. A woman has a choice in being abused or not being abused. That's her choice because she can get the hell away. God gave her 2 legs and an adult brain to get the hell out of it if she wants to it. But a child does not have a choice. Children don't have choices. And I don't like anyone who abuses a child. And I seen white boy be very, very mean and rude to that special needs kid that belonged to his old lady. Just saying. And that's the problem with this and with the, this community. This community, doesn't have a lot of normal minded human beings that, this community don't have people that get up every day and work a regular job, right? Pay their bills and then do this because they want to help missing kids, they want to help missing people, they want to help, because they care. This community, most YouTubers are out for self-gain. They're out to light up this channel and to make as much money as they can off of all the people, off of all their supporters, off of all the people in the chat. That's what they do it for. And these people, these people who lighten up the channels, they have substance abuse habits. They have criminal records. They have, they're very damn abusive. They're abusive to women. They're abusive to children. They're just fucking abusive. A lot of them are, 3 sheets in the freaking wind, right? Like Lisa K's, that Lisa Jensen, mother, that other woman, I don't even know what the hell her name is, but her kids kept turning off the cable. They kept shutting the cable off, so she couldn't do YouTube. This is what I'm talking about, right? They're out here and I don't know what the hell they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. It's like it's a freaking mess. It's a mess. And they're using missing children to run this circus. And that's what it is. It's a circus. They're using missing kids as a way, to fatten their bank accounts. And these are some, mentally messed up human beings using these kids. It don't make no sense to me. It don't make no sense to me. Why people allow criminals to be out here talking about missing children, I don't even know. I don't know. Don't make no sense to me. I understand Chris. He's an ex-retired police officer. Okay, I understand that. He has reason to be out here. He's got a background in law. He's got a normal mind. He's been in the field of helping people for many, many years, right? He's been in the field to help people many, many years. He's a normal-minded. He's normal-minded. He has a lot of people on his panel who are normal-minded as well. And that's a big plus. That's a big plus, baby, for this community. Justin, right? Justin. He really cares. I've seen that guy cry. I've seen him cry over these missing kids. I've seen his feelings hurt by people who wanted to go at him sideways because, they had nothing better to do. They had nothing better to do than to pick on somebody that's trying to do everything right. He's a plus. He's a plus for the community. Smiley, she really cares about these kids. She really puts her time in on these cases and everything, but she hardly gets nobody. She hardly gets nobody, and I don't understand that. She truly cares. She knows what she's talking about. She puts in the time to do the research and everything it takes to, to open her channel and run her channel and to do, but she don't hardly get nobody. It seems like all the people who are bringing the truth to the table, all the people who, are spending countless sleepless nights worried about everyone else instead of themselves. They barely get, the recognition. They barely get, anything to help them keep their channels moving forward. But the ones, these criminals, these pieces of freaking crap that's just after one thing and using a missing child to get it. Well, I just heard they're making $4,000 a week. What can I say? What can I say? Ain't nothing I could say. I guess, if that is what I was out here for. If that's what I was out here for, it probably would upset me. It probably would upset me a little bit, that, because I know I've worked a lot harder than them, did a lot more research than them. I definitely know all the names of the people in the cases when I'm talking about them, and who all the surrounding people are, which they don't. But, like Dolly didn't even know who Robin at the church was, didn't even know her name. He's talking about Summer's case. We're 4.5 years down the road, and he didn't even know Robin's name. Why? Because he don't give a shit about Summer's case. He just gives a shit about gaslighting and blowing smoke up everybody's backside to get people in there to fund his bank account. This is a guy that has a predator living in his house. He's aiding and abetting a predator in his own house. But everybody thinks he's wonderful. Everybody thinks he's wonderful. And he has a right to be talking about missing children. Come on. Really? Are you serious? Are you serious? Make that make sense. Make that make sense to me. Because it don't make no damn sense to me at all. It makes no sense to me. that this guy's living in a house where no children are allowed to come. No children are allowed to even be in. But everybody wants to listen to him talk about missing children. Make that make sense? It don't make no sense. And that's the problem I have with the true crime community out here. That is the problem I have with it. I don't understand how these people get supported. Because I wouldn't support them at all. I don't support people like that. I don't think that any missing child should be covered by someone that ain't allowed to have a child in their house because they're aiding and abetting someone like he's aiding and abetting. Okay? You got a predator in your house, you're aiding and abetting, no children can be there. Why are you talking about children? You must think it's okay if you're aiding and abetting someone that does these things. Why is people listening to you? Why are they even supporting you? I don't know. I don't know. His brother, his own brother. Hell, it's all over the YouTube community. It's all over the YouTube community. You know, PJ can't even take her kids there. No, she can't take her children to his house. They're not allowed there. And if she did, and someone turns it in, she's going to probably lose her children because he's got a brother living there that's a predator. Been living there. Was living there 4.5 years ago. Yeah, it hasn't ever been a secret, right, Dreamcatcher? Absolutely. No, that was another brother. He does got a brother that is deceased, but it ain't the one that lives with him. It ain't the predator one. That one's still alive. That one's still living in his house. Yeah. I don't know, Stephanie, because I'm going to tell you what, if my brother was a predator, he better not visit my house. He better not come around my house. I wouldn't have a damn thing to do with him. I'd say, look, you're not my brother, man. You ain't my brother. Right? He's not my brother. He might be my mom and my dad's kid, but he ain't my brother. I'm going to tell you something. When I became a Christian, when I went down and accepted Jesus Christ into my life and I got baptized and I came up out of that water with my eyes open, I realized that family I lived with is not my brothers and sisters. My brothers and sisters are everyone who is part of the body of Christ. That's all my brothers and sisters. Not the kids that my mom and dad manufactured, okay? That ain't your brothers and your sisters. If they're evil, and they ain't walking with God, and they ain't doing what God wants them to do, man, you better let them go. You got to drop them like a bad habit. You ain't got time for that. You can't be having that around you. Just saying. I don't care if it's your brother. I don't care if it's your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your cousin. I don't give a damn who it is. If they mother freaking evil, they need to take it somewhere else. Keep it away from me. You ain't my family, man. You're not my family. Your ass belongs to Satan. Satan's your daddy. Get the hell out of here. I don't care. I tell you something. Family will mess you over first, baby. Family will be the first to mess you over. Don't think they won't. Family is users and abusers. Why? because they can, because you're vulnerable to them. They think you love them. They think you care about them. They think they can use and abuse the hell out of you and call you up whenever they need something, but you better not call them, right? Don't call them. You know what I got to say? Bitch, don't call me. Don't call me. You know, I'm not the mother freaking maid, right? I'm not the maid. I'm not the mother freaking cook. I'm not, you want to party? You want to party? Well, you call somebody up that throws parties. You need shit clean? Call maid service. You need something, you find it somewhere else. You need a fucking loan, go to the bank. This ain't the bank, dude. This is no ATM machine. Get the fuck out of here. You don't ever pay it back. When you think somebody forgot, you want to call them up for some more. Take that shit on down the road. Take it on down the road. And if you need $5, they ain't never got it. They ain't got it. They owe you thousands. They ain't got the 5 that they do owe you. They ain't got 5 to loan you. I mean, it's just a fucked up situation, man. Oh yeah, absolutely, Bridget. Absolutely. A lot of Christians won't say what you just said. A lot of Christians, Bridget, won't say what you just said. It felt so amazing when I got baptized, came up out of that water with my eyes open. Oh, it is amazing. I mean, if you ain't done it, you don't know what it feels like. But it is like you won't ever forget. You won't ever forget it. You don't even know that person that just got gone. You're like, oh my God, was that me? Was that me? No, it wasn't you. It was the evil spirits you were housing. Just took off. And they're gone. And they ain't coming back. They're not coming back as long as you walk with God and you walk the righteous path. JLR, I was watching JLR today. And there was a man on his panel. And I had clicked in while this man was on the panel. And this man told JLR, he said, you want to get to heaven? Just turn right and keep going straight. And JLR, if you watch it, you could see JLR got a look on his face he didn't like. He didn't overly like what this man was saying. He didn't overly want to hear about how to get to heaven, right? But I'm going to tell you what, I thought that was the best thing I heard today. I thank God. I looked up and I thank God that I tuned in right at the right moment. I thought that was amazing what that man said. Just turn right, keep going straight. That's the truth. That's the truth. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure for God to put my feet somewhere to hear something that was worth hearing, right? That was worth hearing. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to get off the topic of abusers. I just think that women should stick together. I think women, need to stick together. Because I think every last one of us know how damn hard it is to be a woman. I think we all know the pressures and the load that we get put on us every day. Our job don't stop after 8 hours. We don't get to come home, take a nice shower, sit down in front of the TV set, get our dinner handed to us, get our dinner cleaned up out from beneath us, and just get the rest of the evening doing what we want to do. We work 8 hours and we cook that dinner and we serve that dinner and we clean that dinner up, and we still have a whole house to manage and children to take care of. And for a lot of people, it's grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And we have phones to answer, and we have doors to answer, and we have clothes to wash and clothes to dry and clothes to fold and clothes to hang. We have not only have to get ourselves showered up twice a day, but we also have to get our children, right? We got to make sure they stay clean, that their teeth are brushed, that they're well taken care of. It's a lot. And it all gets dumped on us. It all gets dumped on us. And there ain't no woman that works that hard deserves to be freaking abused. Not a one. Not one. I have lost 2 husbands, and God is my husband now. God is our Father. He's our Father. And I'm going to tell you, we lose our earthly dad. We all end up losing our earthly dads. I hope people keep their earthly dad as long as they can. And I hope they know how important it is to spend time with them, to let them know how much you love them and you care about them and you appreciate all they've done for you over the years. If you had a good dad, I think it's very important to spend time with your parents while you got them. Because I'm going to tell you, they all get taken from us, and we all wish we could have them back. I was thinking about my mother today, my sweet little mama. And I was thinking, God, I'd have gave half of my life just to have them with me, to still have them with me. I'd have gave up half of my years to keep my parents with me. I'd have gave up my whole life to let my mother keep living when she died. God knows I would have. I wanted her to live more than I wanted to live. That is love. That is love right there. I know I love my mama. I was willing to give up she didn't have one damn kid willing to give up what I was willing to give up for her. That let me know a lot about my brothers and sisters that I didn't ever know. Let me know how selfish, how self-seeking, how self-centered them son of a bitches really were. Just saying. And I've learned that most people are like that. They're like that. And I'm going to tell you what, you don't know what you got until it's gone, baby. You have no idea what you got until it's gone. You think the grass is greener on the other side? You're wrong. I think we've all had our taste of the grass greener on the other side just to find out it wasn't. It isn't ever greener on the other side. Stay on the side you got. Enjoy the hell out of it and thank God for it. Just some words of wisdom, you guys. Few words of wisdom. But anyway, I'm done. I'm done talking about, about the people, these abusers out here. I think everybody knows that PG's telling the truth. I mean, I ain't telling nobody anything you didn't already know. I ain't telling nobody nothing that they didn't already know. And and it's everybody's choice. It's everyone's own personal choice of how they want to address it. We're all adults here. We're all adults. Every night I click not for children. We're all adults. And it is what it is. Oh, that was a cold one. I bet Day Day wish she had some of this, but she ain't got none. Ah, man. So good, you guys. Yeah, she probably wish she had a drink of that, but she ain't gonna get any at all. I'm gonna let her stay thirsty, right? I'm gonna let her stay thirsty. She better get used to it. She gotta get used to it. She gonna be thirsty a long time. She keep being mean as hell. Anyway, I came in here tonight. Oh yeah, God knows her heart. God knows her heart. But I sure did love my mama. I love my mama, man. I tell you right now, I loved my mama. God bless her. God bless her. And I look forward to seeing her again. I always told myself my mama didn't get into heaven. I don't even stand a chance. If she didn't get into heaven, I ain't gonna even stand a chance. So I know she's gonna be there. And I'm gonna tell you what, oh what a day. I'm gonna be looking for her. As soon as I get in the gates of heaven, I'm gonna hug Jesus and I'm gonna look for my mama. But anyhow, I want to talk about this. This is what I want to talk about. Ziggy saying they're making a documentary. Hell, put a 1 in the chat if you remember Ziggy talking about how her and Fred and Cher and some of these other people were going to be making. It's going to be making a documentary, and they was all going to be mother freaking what is that? Netflix. They was going to be mother freaking Netflix stars. Remember her saying that? And then she comes out like, oh, she thought she was calling it. She was so surprised that other people were going to get together and possibly make a documentary. Yeah, right. I'm like, are you freaking shitting me? Oh, hell no. Hell no. Like, that's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. When I say these mother freakers, are out here trying to gaslight and smoke screen and blow smoke up, everybody's backside. This is right there is what I'm talking about. They think that people out here, they obviously. I'm going to tell you what pisses us off more than anything. It's people underestimating our mentality level out here, right? They underestimate our mentality level. And that it ain't nothing could piss you off more than someone trying to underestimate your mentality level, right? Like you done forgot. Like, you're old and you're freaking senile and you're going to forget, the past 4.5 years. And they can bring the same shit out on you just in a different way. And try to fly it past your fucking nose one more time. What the hell? Oh, hell to the no, Ziggy. Don't even go there. Don't even go there. You're talking about yesterday's bullshit, and you were a part of it. You was a part of it. And now today, you're acting like you're surprised. Let me tell you what you can do with your surprise. You can sniff that shit yourself, right? You can sniff that up yourself. Because ain't nobody out here wanting to smell it. Exactly. Don't try to pass that shit past our noses. We already know the truth. We saw the truth. We heard the truth at your own face a couple years back. It was a couple freaking years ago. And you're going to come out here and try to sell the same flying bullshit past us again. Oh, hell no. It smelled awful the first time. We don't want to smell it no more. Okay? Keep it at your house. That's all I got to tell you. Really pisses me off, right? I'm sitting there listening to her BS and her trying to spin it and twist it and make it everybody else's problem. And then she wasn't even writing her letter right. Last night she was on somebody that supposedly was giving her some trouble, and she's standing there, going to write their job and call and their job, and I think they're using your computers and Ziggy, what exactly did you have Jenna doing? What did you have Jenna doing at her work? Oh, using the computer to you should know about people using the computers at their employment, because you was getting people to use their computers at their employment yourself to look people up, okay? Do you remember Jenna? Yeah. There you go. And that's why Jenna lost her job. It's because she was looking people up that she wasn't supposed to on the work computer, right? During hours that she's supposed to be, doing everything, her job and everything right. She was doing things wrong because Ziggy had her doing it. And then Ziggy is turning this lady in for exactly what she had someone else do. Oh, yeah. What I'm talking about. Right, Ziggy? And then you didn't even put the fucking question. I had to tell you to put the question mark so you didn't sound stupid when you asked them a question, right? Yeah, you suck at writing letters. That tells me, that you're uneducated. You didn't know how to spell half the words. Your computer had to freaking help you spell them for you. Yeah. Yes. Summer's keeping an eye on all of these freaking idiots, ain't she? Look at her. She's like, yeah, I see you guys. I know what you did. Summer knows what they done. She knows all about old Fred. And I'm going to tell you, what Ziggy's trying to do is she's trying to gaslight. She's trying to smoke screen, right? She's got this smoke screen going. Because why? Because she's laying around in a bed with one of the number one suspects in the Summer Wells case, right? Summer Moon Utah Wells. She's laying around with one of the number one freaking suspects in the little girl's case. Sure is. And not only that, but he ain't only a suspect in Summer's case. He's a suspect in another man's case, Cotton Simpson, right? Who ended up unalived the very evening that he followed Cotton Simpson, right? Cotton Simpson was at his house talking to him about summer when he ended up on a light. There you go. There you go. Wow.
Fred tells the story. He don't do.
It's the same thing.
It's the same.
Your destination is on the right.
I tried to tell people that. And I told Fred, I said, man, I'm so tired. I know this makes me sound awful, but I get so tired of hearing about it over and over.
That's Laura. That's Laura talking to Ziggy about Summer's case. Man, I get sick of hearing about Summer's case over and over. I get so sick of hearing about that little girl. You think these people really care about children? You think Laura really cares about children when she's sick of hearing about Summer's case? This bitch should want to know everything she can about Summer's case, right? She should want to know everything when something happens right down the damn road from you, when a 5-year-old little girl disappears right down the road from you. Your ass should want to make sure you know everything because you got a daughter who's having children, who's coming around your house, and your grandchild could end up being disappeared, right? So you should want to know everything about this little girl and her case, and know who in the hell might have did something like this, because you know I would be checking up and updates every damn day if some little kid disappeared, that close to my home. I'd want to know everything. I would have a need to know everything because this is some dangerous shit. But she's tired of it. She's tired. She don't want to hear about it, right? Right out of her own damn mouth. Would you like me to play that for you again? Would you like to hear Laura and talk about how she don't fucking want to hear about Summer?
Every time Fred tells the story, he don't do.
It's the same thing.
It's the same.
Your destination is on the right.
And even Ziggy. Do you hear Ziggy? It's the same thing. She don't want to hear it either. She doesn't want to hear it. Because you know why? She doesn't care about Summer as well. Ziggy was grab a kid like Benny, like Dolly, like the rest of them, right? Like White Boy, like the rest of them fucking criminals. Grab a kid and make bank, right? Cash out. Gang, gang. Yeah.
I tried to tell people that.
And I told Fred, I said, man, I'm so tired. I know this makes me sound awful, but I get so tired of hearing about it over and over.
There you go. There you go. She gets tired of hearing about it because she knows exactly what the fuck happened. She gets tired of hearing about it the same way Dawn and Candace does, the same way Grandis does, the same way Andy and Jody Sue does. They all get tired of hearing about it because all these motherfuckers knew exactly what went down that day, right? This group of fucking vigilantes, this group of sickos, this group of fucking weirdos, all of them mother freaking knew, right? They're running a sick little cult, right? They're running their own sick little cult up in that hellhole. Using and abusing little children. To one of them was so abused, somebody was going to jail. And they had no alternative but to get rid of it, hide it, and say, we don't know what happened to it. We're going to play games, tell all kinds of different stories, all kinds of different bullshit. We're going to do everything we can to tear this case up and to tear it apart and intervene and run law enforcement in so many different directions, they're going to get tired and give up. Because that's what kind of monsters they are, right? That's what kind of monsters we are dealing with here. And Ziggy don't give a shit. I mean, this is Ziggy is a freaking woo-wooer, right? She's a woo-wooer. She sits there, and freaking talks about, oh, let me read my cards. Let me look into hell and see what it says today. Well, I'm going to tell you what it says. It says there ain't going to be no motherfucking snowballs hitting hell, Ziggy. I tell you what those cards say. No snowballs are going to be hitting hell. They're going to dry up long before they get to hell, and you still ain't going to get a drink of water. Okay? That's what your card's going to tell you. Go ahead, ask them. No water in hell. You think it's just fine to sleep around with a freaking number one suspect. A freaking dirty dog off of freaking Ben Hill Road. You think it's okay to drag that into your house? You speak to the devil all the damn time. Why not pull a demon into the house, right? Why not pull a demon into the house? Another demon. Because in my opinion, you're a fucking demon too. That's just my opinion. I don't give a shit. I call it the way I see it. Fred and his family was into all that woo-woo shit. Ziggy's into that woo-woo shit. Don and fucking Candace and Grandis, they were probably into that woo-woo shit. Jody Sue, hell, she don't even try to hide that she's all into the woo-woo shit, right? Bunch of fucking woo-wooers up there freaking taking advantage of little children. How sick do you get? How sick do you get? I don't know. I ain't that fucking sick. But I sure in the hell know it when I see it. Even the fucking dogs up there weren't clean. Even the dogs weren't clean because them motherfuckers were laying around with the dogs. I heard Don Wells was violating the fucking animals. Right? That's what I heard. Am I lying? No. Absolutely not. His sister Mary said this mother freaker was violating animals just like he violated humans. Them damn dogs were skinny as hell because why? Those dogs were skinny as hell because they was always trying to run away from Don and Candace and Grandis. Even the dogs didn't want to get caught by them. Even the dang dogs didn't want them to catch them. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. And then Ziggy, she goes up there and gets a dog. And then she wants everybody in her chat, all of her supporters, to support the dog. Buy the dog clothes. Buy the dog food. What dog needs clothes? What dog needs clothing? Right? I don't know. I understand that the dog does need food, water, medical care, Yeah. It needs to be groomed. It needs to be taken well care of. But She wants clothes for it. But if you can't afford, to take the dog home, why did you take it? If you ain't got enough money to feed and take care of the dog, why do you take the dog home anyway? But she goes up there to get a dog. Where's that dog at now? Because every time I see him going to the store, they got some little dog that certainly ain't the dog from Ben Hill Road. They got some little dog that they're packing around. What happened to the dog off of Ben Hill Road? Does anybody know? Because I haven't seen it. When they're out walking, I don't ever see that dog. Yeah, exactly, Danny. I agree, girlfriend. Absolutely, right, Miss Justice. Yeah, I haven't seen it either, Dreamcatcher. I'm like, what happened to the dog? Ain't dogs supposed to live like 12, 14 years? I don't know. I think they live a long time. 17. Some dogs live almost 20 years or more. I don't know. They took the dog home. They took the dog home. I don't ever see the dog. I don't see the dog in their house. I don't ever see the dog. Somebody says that the dog is the daughter's dog and it's looked after well. I don't think so. Even the daughter ain't looked after well. Fred Hill told me that little girl, that they stay up all night. He said he stays up all night to make sure that little girl don't go in the kitchen. Why would you not want your daughter to go in the kitchen? I don't stay up all night so my daughter don't go to the kitchen. My daughter can go to the kitchen anytime she wants. If my daughter's hungry, if she wakes up hungry 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and she wants to come down and go into the kitchen to make her some cereal or to make her, to get a snack or a sandwich, or I don't care. Go to the kitchen, get whatever you want. If my children are hungry and they want something, they didn't, if they didn't eat dinner good enough or whatever, I'm not one of those parents that say, eat everything on your plate. You're not leaving this table till you clean your plate. I'm not that parent. I say, eat what you want and excuse yourself from the table whenever you feel you're done. And if you get hungry later, we'll make you some more food. I'm not pushing my kid to eat. Kids know when they're hungry just like we do. And if you're hungry, you'll eat. I don't push my children. That, they got minds of their own. They're their own human beings. I'm going to tell you something. Italian cookie. I come from the hood. When I say I come from the hood, I am not kidding you. I think, YouTube actually made me go back to the hood. Coming out here actually threw me back to what I got away from a long time ago and made myself a better life. And I was living that good life until I came out here, seen how evil some of these people could be, seen how they come at you sideways and expect you not to protect yourself because they're just, they were used to running over people taking their shit. I don't take no shit. But I'm going to tell you something. They threw me back in time. And I come from the hood. And let me tell you what, I ain't never seen and I knew firsthand. I mean, when you live in the hood, you know everyone who deals. That's just a fact, baby. You know everyone. You know what they do and what they got. You know what's on the market. And let me tell you, they usually have everything, but nobody had no kids. Nobody had no kids. They ain't trading. I don't care how much you owe them. They ain't trading for no kid. I'm going to tell you what they're going to trade for. They're going to trade for what you owe them, or they're going to, they're going to get you. They don't want your kid. They don't want your mama. They don't want your daddy. They don't want nobody in your family. They want you. Now, they might go to your mama and let your mama know what they're going to do if they don't get their pay. They're probably going to they're going to give your mama, your daddy, your family an opportunity to bail you out before they get you. But they ain't going to bother your kid. Nobody wants your kid. Hell, them guys don't even want their own kids. They're trying to run from their own baby mamas. They're trying to run from child support. They're trying to run from all the kids they've already made. They sure don't want nobody else's. Don and Candace didn't trade that kid for anything. No, they didn't. I'm going to tell you what, they was running a business up there. The same business they was running over in Arkansas, the same business they was running out of the other place up in Utah. Don had a business going in Utah trying to sell the boy, and nobody was going to take it. Nobody was going to take it. He still has the boy. Nobody takes kids. What Don did is he got over in Arkansas and they started getting around a bunch of those predators. And what they do, I don't know if you guys heard about there was some man, and he was babysitting a woman's child. Did anybody else hear this story? Put a 1 in the chat if you heard about it. But he was a neighbor, and he was babysitting this woman's kid. She was crazy enough to let him. She thought he was a good person. And he had these pervs lined up. While she's at work, he has these pervs lined up to do stuff to her child. Right? There you go. And in my opinion, that's what they were running. And when you let pervs like this come around and do stuff to children, then bad things go wrong, right? Bad things go wrong. Bad things go wrong you can't fix. If you take them to hospital, you're going to go to prison. Right? As soon as a doctor checks and sees what the problem is, somebody's going to jail. And I think that's what happened to Summer. And I think that when they went to that swimming hole, Candace already had it fixed up with Hunter to go out there in that water and do something very evil to this little girl. And I think that little girl was unalived when she left that swimming hole. I truly believe she was unalived. And I think law enforcement believes it too. Law enforcement ain't looking. Law enforcement is not looking for what happened to Summer. They already know. They're looking for Summer. So they can prove what they thought all along. And so they can put people in prison for what they thought all along. Oh, you're going to always have one of those Ziggy people coming in and, trying to, defend her honor, right? Defend Ziggy's honor. Ziggy ain't got no fucking honor to defend. And I'm going to tell you, when you go trying to defend people like Ziggy, it just tells me how motherfucking evil and disgusting you are to support that. That's all it tells me. It tells me a hell of a lot more about you than it told me about Ziggy. Just saying. I do not condone evilness in any way, shape, or form. I'd be the first one to tell you, you mess with that woo-woo shit, you're going to hell. If you're a liar, you're going to hell. If you're a murderer, you're going to hell. If you go and you covet what other people have, you're going to hell. If you mess around with someone else's better half, you're going to hell. I'm just, you break those 10 commandments, you're going to hell. Unless you repent. And if you keep saying, oh, I can repent later, I can repent later, I can repent later. Well, that means it's premeditated. You know that you're supposed to repent right now, today. Jesus says today is the day. Come as you are. Today is the day. If you're putting it off so you could continue to do your evilness, and you're waiting for, when you're done doing your evilness, you're going to hell. Because that's premeditated. And you think God's going to forgive you after you knew that you were doing evil and you kept doing evil, plotting that you can always, God's going to be there, when you're ready. No, you better go when God's ready. Because when you're ready ain't good enough for God. Because you already knew what you done. And you continue to do it. You knew it was all wrong. And God, why do you think God's going to forgive you when you keep doing it and you're plotting? You're plotting. Basically, you're plotting against God. Because you're sitting there like, God don't matter. He's going to always be there. And you can just keep doing what you want to do. And he's going to accept it. No, he's not going to accept it. That's called getting turned over to a reprobate mind. That means God done turned away from you because you turned away from him. And he was tired of it. You're going to hell. Just saying. Ziggy knows what she's doing is wrong. She doesn't care. Screwing somebody out of their monies, gaslighting them up to get what she wants is more important than doing what God wants her to be doing. And that's being righteousness, right? That's her problem. Not PG's, but I'm going to call it out. I'm going to call it out. Why? Because I can. I don't have no feelings for someone sleeping with the #1 suspect in a 5-year-old missing little girl's case. You think I have any feelings for that? No, I don't. And I certainly don't have no feelings when she's out here trying to gaslight everybody. So it'll take the freaking focus off of what she's sleeping with in the background. Okay, I ain't gonna let that happen. I'm not gonna let that happen. Because Fred Hill needs to step up and Fred Hill needs to tell the truth. Fred Hill needs to tell what him and Cotton Simpson was talking about. Fred Hill needs to tell what Cotton Simpson said to make Fred follow him and him end up unalived. Okay? That's what Fred needs to do. Fred needs to tell what the hell Candace was doing down there at his house at 4:30 in the afternoon, meeting up with mother freaking Chad Arnold and following him out of there. Fred Hill needs to speak up and tell where Summer is because he definitely knows, right? He definitely knows because Cotton Simpson told everybody he saw Summer's body down there at Fred Hill's house. He saw her. He said he saw her in a box. What Fred needs to do is tell the truth for this little girl's sake. And I'm going to tell you, Fred's definitely in on it because Dom Wells is calling him up. Dom Wells is trying to get a hold of him. He's still, he might be in wherever the hell Ziggy lives. I don't even fucking know. Indiana. I think that's where it is. Indiana. She's up in fucking Indiana, but his mother freaking ears are still down in Tennessee, right? His fucking ears are still in Tennessee. If he had nothing to do with the Summer Wells case, then why is he got his nose stuck up everybody's ass that did have something to do with it? Why is he keeping fucking notes on where everybody is all the time? You tell me. Because I can tell you why he's got his ears and his nose stuck in Tennessee. Because he wants to know when Johnny Law finally figures out what happened and his ass was possibly going to get arrested. Right? That's my opinion to why he's got his ears and his fucking eyeballs and his nose down there in Tennessee. Wanting to know where all the people are that surrounded this case and knew all the truth. Like Marlena Crawford and her brother Ricky and a few of them other people, right? I'm going to tell you what, Fred Hill was just as evil and mother freaking backsliding as the rest of that bunch down in there. He lived just as nasty and just as freaking dirty as the rest of them lived. Getting his fix meant more to him than getting something to eat. Getting his fix meant more to him than keeping his children and taking care of them and doing righteous by him, right? Them sad sack mother freakers didn't care about no children. They didn't give a damn about their own kids. Why would they care about anybody else's? He's sitting that ass in Ziggy's house, mother freaking scared that the truth is going to come out any day. And if the truth came out, I got a feeling, this is my opinion, but I got a feeling old Fred's going to prison. That's my opinion. And then what smoke is Ziggy going to come out here and try to blow up everybody? Then she going to say, "Oh, I didn't know, you guys. I had no idea because I'm Ziggy and I'm just so fucking stupid. Everybody knows I'm stupid. I just played the fucking dumb blonde act and have everybody feel sorry. And you know what would make me feel so much better is if everybody in the chat could just support me because Fred's gone now and I ain't getting his Social Security check no more. Right? That's going to make her feel all better. And you know the sad thing is, there's probably a whole bunch of fucking people who would. And that's the sad thing about this. This whole situation. After she's laid around with the number one suspect until the truth came out. It's sad. You know, this ain't supposed to be about Ziggy. It ain't supposed to be about Fred. It ain't supposed to be about supporting Ziggy's and Don Wells and Candace's or any of these motherfreaking suspects or people laying around with them. This is supposed to be about Summer Moon Utah Wells. This is supposed to be about a 5-year-old little girl who was screaming for help and no damn body helped her. Nobody. And everybody's got an opportunity right now to stand for her, to stand with her, to stand behind her, and get justice for this little girl. And you know what? A lot of them ain't. A lot of them standing over there in the devil's cesspool, supporting the fucking devil and his demons instead of this beautiful little girl who we're all supposed to be out here for. That's what sickens the fuck out of me. And I'm not afraid to say it. I'm going to tell you what's wrong with Ernie. Ernie's got some serious freaking mental issues going on. That's what's wrong with Ernie. Ernie cannot keep his shit straight. Every time he gets turned loose, every time he starts looking better, he gets back on his feet, he runs out there to do something self-destructive again. That's the problem with Ernie. Just saying. Some people you can't help. Some people you cannot help. You can't help anyone if they don't want help. Right? It's just truth. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear the truth. I know the truth sounds harsh and it sounds hard and it sounds, and the mouth that's coming out of sounds, hard and uncaring. But I'm going to tell you something. That's not the truth. The mouth that the truth is coming out of is just trying to make people understand that, it's trying to make people understand. People who, invest their time, invest their money, invest everything into these people who are not worth investing in. The truth is trying to set those people free from caring so damn much for people who don't care about themselves or anyone trying to help them. I mean, you can only take so much before you're done. Before you're done trying to help people who just don't want the help. Right? It's not that you don't care. It's just that you need to save yourself sometimes. These people will latch on to you and they will pull you down with them. While you're sitting there worried about them, they ain't worried about nothing. They're not worried about them, so why should you? They're not worried at all. They're doing what they want to do and they're looking to come back. They're looking to come back and pull you down some more and pull you down some more. Well, how low are you going to go? How low are you going to go for these people? That's the question. How low are you willing to go? Because I'll tell you, they'll take all. They'll take all and discard you as if you were nothing. And that's the truth. That's the truth. I'm going to tell you, I came out here into this YouTube world 4.5 years ago. And when I showed up out here, I cared. I cared about people's medication. I cared about people having food on the table. I cared about all the people in my chat. I cared about all my supporters. I cared if you had what you needed. I didn't come out here singing a sad song. I could have. I could have sung sad songs, and I'm sure a lot of good people would have helped me. They would have been glad to help me. I ain't willing to do that. I am not willing to do it. I tell you what, a human's first fear better be of God. You better watch what you do. You better watch what you do in this world. You better not be taking the food out of other people's mouth, the medicines that they need to keep them going. You better not be doing that. But I'm going to tell you, I watched this YouTube community and I watched how they didn't care. They didn't care if these people need the money for their bills. They didn't care if the people need the money for medicine. They didn't care if these people needed what they had. They wanted to play sad song and another sad song and another. They wanted to drain these people for every damn dime they had. They even promised to pay these people back and they didn't. They made people cry because these people trusted in them and they couldn't be trusted. And Ziggy was a number one. She was a number one for having older women crying that gave so much to her that she promised to give back and didn't give them anything. Because she was a lying, selfish, self-seeking mother freaking person that did not care what she did to other people or how she made them feel. She felt that they were stupid for giving it to her in the first place. That they should have known better. It ain't her fault because she don't want to blame her. She wants to blame them. Why would you want anything to do with a fucking person that would do that to someone? Why would you want anything to do with them? I want nothing to do with her. Period. Because I'm going to tell you something. I wouldn't want anyone to ever do something like that to the people I love. And I ain't about to do it to anyone else. And when I came out here, I said, you need it, keep it. If you don't have it to give, don't give it. I don't want it. I couldn't lay down at night and sleep thinking that someone gave me something they needed. I want you to take care of you. You take care of you first. You had anything after that? You could spare anything after that to help Summer's channel? Hey, great. I super appreciate it. But don't give me nothing that you need. Right? And that's the way I ran this channel for 4.5 years. 4.5 years I've ran that channel like that. But I've seen everybody else not giving a damn. They sing their sad songs. They act like they depend on these people. They take these people for everything, and they don't care. They show these people a little bit of attention, suck them in, and use them up. And that's hard for me to watch. It's hard for me to see. It's hard for me to understand. But I think that, you know, I think I'm the only one that's out here honest enough to tell everybody how it is, the way it is. And I get a lot of hate for it. I get a lot of hate on my back for it. That's right, see. That's exactly right. I asked for nothing. I asked for nothing. No matter how hard life gets, I don't ask for anything. And I'm not going to. You don't do that. You don't do that. If you're having it hard, then I'm going to tell you, you know other people's having it hard too. Right? Everybody's having it hard. But that's what this, you know, all of this is about out here. I think, you know, I'm not going to lie. I think this is the only channel out here that isn't out here for it. That's my personal opinion. I'm going to keep it. Because I go to every other channel, and I'm going to tell you, if them channels weren't making nothing, they wouldn't be there. You think those people will be there just because they care about these kids and they care about all of you supporting the children? Oh, hell no. Hell no. Their channel wasn't making bank, their asses wouldn't be out here. Trust and believe that. And I'm going to tell you something. This is the wrong way to be trying to make money. I think that doing what these people's doing will put you in hell. That's just my opinion too. I mean, if they don't care about, you know, they don't care about where their soul ends up, that's on them. I care. I come out here and I do what I do for these missing kids. I do it because I want to do it. I started out as one of you. I started out in that chat. Right where you're at, that's where I started. And man, I saw the abuse. I got the abuse. Right? I really got the abuse. I saw everybody getting so much respect when I was getting none at all. I said, that's fine. Because as long as I'm getting prosecuted for his name's sake, I know I'm doing something right. That's how you always know that you're doing righteousness, is when you're getting prosecuted all the time. And I get prosecuted because I come out here and I tell it like it is, and people don't like it. People don't like hearing the truth. But if you don't face it, if you don't hear the truth and you don't see the truth and you're not willing to face the truth, you're a sitting duck. You're a sitting duck for everybody wanting to use and abuse you. You're just a sitting duck. And they will use and they will abuse. And when and you know the truth, you just avoid it. You see it, you know it, but you're afraid. You're afraid that you're gonna lose something by not. I'm gonna tell you, all you're gonna lose is a whole lot of shit you wished you'd have got rid of long before you did. What you're gonna lose is a burden that you've seen you didn't need once you put it down. You're going to see your life got better without these people you thought that you needed, without these people you were supporting that didn't care anything about you, that wouldn't have gave you the time of day if you didn't have something to give them. I don't need that shit in my life. I come out here because I do care. You receive freely, give freely, right? Jesus told those disciples, don't take anything. When you go and you spread the word of God and you're doing righteousness, you take nothing except some food and lodging, right? And if they turn you away from their door, knock the dust off your feet and keep going. If they don't want to accept you, don't worry about it. It's their loss, not yours. Everybody isn't ready to hear the truth and accept the truth and understand the truth and make their lives better. Everybody ain't willing to open their eyes to have a better life. That's not the messenger's fault. That's just how it is. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, she does. She knows. She knows Fred is a damn liar. She knows Fred, is way more involved and wrapped up in all of this than he's telling everybody out here. Ziggy knows. She don't care. She don't care about Summer. You heard her plainly say she agreed She agreed with Laura when Laura said, I'm sick of hearing about it. Ziggy don't want to hear about it either. Ziggy just wants what people can give her. And she's been damn good at taking it all too, right? Ziggy is all take, no give. What has she gave any fucking body? What has she give anybody since she's been out here? You tell me. Tell me what the fuck she's given anyone. Because I know of a lot of old ladies she took to the cleaners. I know of a lot of people that she's fucking used and abused. I know a shit ton of lies she's told. I know she's a troublemaker from hell. But what exactly has she fucking offered to give anyone out here? Who has she ever helped? Tell me. One person. Just one person. Other than Fred Hill. Oh, shit. Not a thing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Did she take her time? Did she take her time to console people? To console people with issues they just need someone to talk to? Did she take her time to console them? Did she take her time to really care and try to help anybody have a better life? No. Has she sat and listened to people who's about to do the worst thing a human could do to themselves and actually give them reason to keep going? No. What has she done for anyone? Oh, and Pam Tate, I know that you got your nose in here. I know that you're listening because you are always listening. You're probably sitting in that blinding freaking light right now. You're probably sitting in that blinding damn light watching. You got your eyeballs all up close to the damn screen. I mean, your head looks like a fucking watermelon, right? It's so close to whatever the hell you're watching this on. And you're all fucking ears. You act like you can't hear, but you hear every damn thing. You can hear a pin drop when you want to. Come on. I got something to tell you. You've been off in other places running your face about PG. You've been in Benny's, you've been in Munches, you've been everywhere running your mouth about PG. I'm going to tell you what, Pam. You do not want me to have a live about you. You do not want me coming out here and exposing the truth about you. I have been your friend. I have been kind to you. I have been caring. I have put up with your shit when I didn't feel like putting up with it. But I still endured it because I liked you. I cared about you. And that's how you repay me? That's how you repay me? I hold your deepest and your darkest damn secrets. You do not want me to light this board up with you. I'm just giving you fair warning. One more nasty comment. One more nasty fucking lie out of your mouth. And honey, I'm going to tell you what. Call me a liar again. Call me a liar again. And I'll put the truth out here on you. Everybody in this chat will hear it. I don't think you want that. You're the last person that wants that. And I don't want to do it. But by God, say something else. And I'm going to light this board up. I don't even care if it's a Friday. I'm going to light it up. And I'm going to freaking rock your fucking world. Don't even talk about me. You take that ass and you fucking go somewhere else with it. Because I ain't putting up with your shit no more. I'm going to tell you. Yeah, she has been running around everywhere, spreading lies and bullshit. And it's not that she ain't done it before. She's done it many times. Many times. And I have forgiven and forgiven and forgiven. And honey, let me tell you, my forgiveness ain't for me. It was for her. But I'm not going to do it no more, Pam. I'm not going to do it no more. I'm going to tell you what. I liked you. I really did. And I tried to mend the fence. Many times I've tried to mend the fence. When you came up here and I asked you if you was a mod over there for Hunter's dad, nobody was being rude or cruel or anything. You took it the way you wanted to take it, not the way it was. We were concerned for you. You called me repeatedly when he said ugly things about you. You cried. I had to console your ass on many occasions because of fucking Andrew and what Andrew was doing to you. And the only thing is people here cared, and we was wanting to know why you would let someone make you a mod that was so cruel and possibly do the same thing again to you when it was so traumatic the times before. We were just trying to look out for you. And you wanting to take it the way you did so you could run off and be the bitch you are. Mother freaking is what you done. And don't think I don't know it. I know you like the back of my fucking hand. You don't know me, but I know you. And let me tell you something. I know what you did. You knew we were looking out for your best interest, but you wanted to run off so you could use that to be cruel and ugly. Well, you've been cruel and ugly enough. Do it one more time, and I will light this board up with you. And honey, I won't hold nothing back. I'll tell your mother I'll tell these people from your birthday all the way up to fucking next week. And you ain't even in it yet. But I know what you'll be doing then, the same damn thing you're doing now. You don't want me doing it. Trust me. I'm the last person you want to fucking piss off. Everybody in this chat, everybody in the YouTube community will know your business when I'm done. And not just your business, but the whole damn truth and nothing but the truth. And it won't be so help me. Because I didn't live that life. You did. Probably so, Australia. I'm going to tell you what. I don't give a fuck who she's hanging out with. One more shitty thing out of her mouth about me, and I will know. Trust me, I will know. One more shitty thing out your mouth, and I'm going to light this board up. And everybody in the whole YouTube community is going to know. They're going to know everything. And I will not leave nothing out, baby. It will be A to freaking Z. They're going to know your mama, your daddy, your whole mother freaking family, and you on top of it, and every neighbor you got. So keep running your mouth. I'm going to tell you something. I really like Pam. I really did. I really did. You know, and I forgave her so many times. And I was so good to her and so nice to her. And I gave her no cause to ever do what she did. It's something she wanted to do. And I knew it. And you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. But it's going to stop here, and it's going to stop now. It is. See, it is so hard when someone, you know, you cared so much about, someone, you know, that you kept giving opportunities, you know, and they weren't smart enough to take them. It's sad. It's sad. But it, you know, it's the story of my life. It's the story of my life. That's why I trust no one. I trust no one. I have a real fucking trust problem. That's true. I do. It's not because I can't be trusted. It's because I ain't ever in my life been able to trust no one. Everyone in my life has always fucking disappointed me. Everyone. It's just how it is. Anybody, it seems, you know, my family disappointed me. You know, they wanted to use and abuse and fuck me over. And I was nothing but good to them. They had no reason to do what they done to me. I mean, I went beyond and above for these people. And you know, they seen my kindness as a weakness. A way to, you know, they just wanted to destroy me. To make themselves feel better, make themselves feel bigger. They just wanted to destroy the fuck out of me. Because I was too kind and I put up with the shit. I didn't want to hurt them the way they hurted me. And I've always been kind like that. And that kindness has always attracted fucking wolves that wanted to try to devour my kindness. And just, you know, and just shit on you, right? And that's exactly what Pam done as well. That's, you know what, Starbucks is true. And you know, it hurts me. You know what keeps me awake at night and what really hurts me? Is that these kind of people, these people have made me, how many people have, how many real friends and good people who I could have trusted, who would have cared about me like I cared about them, you know, unconditionally, no strings attached, just unconditionally, someone to care and you could care about, someone that, you know, that you could talk to and they could talk to you, just really good friends. How many of those am I missing out on? because of these fucking people I can't trust. I can't even get close to the ones that, you know, that are trustworthy, because the ones like Pam make me too scared to trust anyone. And it just ruins your whole fucking life. It just ruins your whole fucking life. That's the way evil works. They just ruins your whole fucking life. And it's true. Put a 1 in the chat if you know what I'm talking about, because that is the way it is. Unbelievable. Exactly. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You miss out on so much because of pure evilness. God bless you, Australia. God bless you. That's what I'm talking about. I tell you what's going on. Pam is running around saying awful things about PG. I mean, some awful things, you know. And she said some pretty ugly, some pretty horrible stuff before. Some real horrible stuff. And it did come out of her mouth because, you know, somebody recorded it and they sent it to me. And it was Pam. It was Pam's mouth that was saying it. And it was just, and I forgave her. I shouldn't have, but I did. I did. And, you know, and now she's back at it again, you know, because she wanted to. And it's so, you know, it's so sad. God be with us, man. God be with us. That's all PG can say. Is God be with us. This world is, I mean, it says it'll be in the days of Noah. Well, I think we're here. I think we're here, to be perfectly honest. Every time I ask myself, how can it get any worse? It gets worse, right? It gets worse. Oh, I'm going to tell you, PG's little girl, I'm going to. And I'm going to tell you, I got a lot of you guys have my back, and you don't know how grateful and how thankful I am for that. Don't ever think your kindness was wasted when it comes to PG, because I'm going to tell you now, it's not. I thank God. I thank God for you guys. I thank God that, you know, that Summer has an army that is so strong and so beautiful and so amazing. I thank him for that. And I thank him for letting me be a part of this, you know, out here, and to do, you know, do the righteousness that we're all doing in this world. There, you know, we deal with evilness every day on this channel. Every time we're here, it's about pure evilness. I had more. And, you know, and before I leave here,
Right. Candace is seen that day walking off his driveway. One of my friends, he come to see me that day, and I was gone. That was before the law come in the holler. And she was walking off my driveway before someone was reported missing. And then when they about septic tanks, you know. I got thinking, well, if there's a septic tank on top of the hill up there, they got talking about puppy in the septic tank or something there, and I got thinking.
I started talking with my friend that day. On that day, a friend of mine was there, Chad Arnold, who she was meeting up with. She went straight to Fred's to meet up with Chad. And he started thinking that she might have put Summer in his septic tank. Why in the hell didn't he run down and tell law enforcement that? Why didn't he have law enforcement down at his house looking around his land and looking into his septic tanks and stuff, if that's what he thought? Why was he doing something for the sake of Summer? He's a lying piece of shit. And I'm going to tell you something. They lied about hauling cars that day. All of a sudden, Fred seen that people could check the junkyards, right? He's seen that they keep a record, and people might be able to go in there and check to see if he hauled any cars that day. So he started saying, "Oh no, I hauled motorcycles. I hauled one motorcycle for somebody I didn't know, dropped them off, didn't see them again." Then he says, "Oh no, it was 2 motorcycles. It was for a buddy of mine, someone I did know," right? He made up motherfucking one story after another story after another story, lying his freaking ass off. You want to know what I think? I think his ass was right there at the house. I think Chad Arnold was down at Fred's. And I think that Cotton Simpson was down at Fred's. And I think Candace's ass was down at Fred's. And I think they all seen Summer in that freaking tote. That's what I think. That's my opinion. If you agree, put a 1 in the chat. And I think Cotton Simpson was a loose cannon. He was worried. He got scared of these people. If they could do this to a little girl, they could do more. What could they do to him? So he told his mother. He told his family about it. And Fred ended up, Fred must have got wind that Cotton's been talking and followed him. And, he didn't only, shut Cotton up about Summer, but he also shut Cotton up, and got some money to boot, right? Cotton had a bunch of money on him that day as well, because he just got out of jail. He just went to the bank, got all that money and those cigarettes. So, it was, he got 2 birds with 1 stone, didn't he? That's what I think. That's my opinion. Just saying. I didn't give Pam, yeah, right, Bridget? I didn't give Pam the boot. I told her that I had content that I needed to get out, and I didn't want to talk. Because she wanted to start talking about people who were harassing her. And I told her I didn't want to talk about that right now, that I needed content I was trying to get out about these missing children. And, I was going to put her back in the chat while I did the content. And she said, okay, put me down. And I did. And then, she used that as an excuse to run off and be evil. But she was looking, she was looking for a way to run and be evil. And so she used all of that as an excuse to do what she really wanted to do. And I'm done with her. One more thing. And I'm going to tell you what, she wants attention. I'm going to sure to hell give her some. I'm going to give her some. She's going to, she ain't going to like it. She ain't going to like it. Trust and believe that. You guys know. Don't push me. You guys know how PG is. I'm super nice until you give me reason not to be. You give me reason not to be, that's not good. That's not going to be good. Anyway, I wanted to talk about Michael. About Michael Vaughn tonight before I get out of here. And I so appreciate you guys sticking with me. I know I come in late and I have, and I leave I leave late. And, but, you know, with the baby and everything, this is the only time I got you guys. This is the only time I got. And I surely appreciate you guys understanding. I'm trying to get in earlier, but I just got a lot to do lately. And I'm tired. I stay very tired. Brandy said, I haven't ever threatened your family. I haven't ever threatened you. And, you know, she's talking about this Brandon guy. And this, they're threatening to put a suit. They're threatening to put a suit against Brandy, against law enforcement, against, you know, against all these things. And I guess this white SUV's been going around taking down the flyers and pulling down, you know, the stuff about Michael Vaughn. You know, but there wasn't nothing harder. I was watching all of this last night, and Stacy, I seen where Stacy's was talking to his mother, and his mother, God bless her, God bless the woman, because she really was working for Michael, and Michael's good. And she told her son, she said, "Is Michael okay? Is he still alive?" Right? And Stacy shook his head no. And you could see this poor woman just, you know, you just seen everything go out of her, right? She looked like she was going to go weak, like super weak, right? I felt so sorry for his mother. I felt so sorry. You know, you could tell she knew what kind of son she had. You could tell that she knew he was evil. You could tell that, you know, she was afraid of him. You could tell that she felt he had all to do with it, right? You could tell that she knew what she was dealing with. And she, you know, when he said no, you could tell she wanted to cry. She wanted to cry for Michael. It made tears come to my eyes, you know. I was like, wow. All the hope that everybody was holding out so strong for Michael to still be around. All the hope, you know, that somehow, some way, a miracle was going to happen for, you know, for where Michael was concerned. And to find out that these evil bastards, you know, allegedly killed him. And all this guy keeps saying it was an accident. It was an accident. No, it's not an accident. When you take someone else's child and you mother freaking basically kidnap someone else's child and bring it into your house and do the evil things that you guys did, that's not an accident. There's no damn accident when you done something you wasn't supposed to fucking do. You found this little boy, you were supposed to take him home. You were supposed to call law enforcement and have law enforcement come and find out who he belonged to and have him returned to his house and to his parents. You weren't supposed to do what you dirty bastards did. It was no accident to it. That shit was purposely and willfully done. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. That little boy deserved to still be here. He deserved to still be alive. He deserved to still be like the rest of these children, running and having fun and enjoying life the way God meant for him to do. These were healthy, happy children. All of these kids are happy, healthy children. And this sick, fucking evil people destroyed them. This ain't no accident. None of it's an accident. And it's so frustrating to sit there and listen to these sick bastards say how they're going to put a suit on someone. It's sickening to sit there and listen to this fucker act like he had nothing to do with it when he had all to do with it. He didn't get this child no help. How can anyone feel any sympathy for them fucking weirdos at all? Because I don't. Yeah, Michael was a beautiful little boy. A beautiful little boy. He certainly was cute as he could be. And I'm going to tell you, according to them sick masters, Michael's in heaven. He's in heaven. And they're trying to get away with the dirty, evil deeds they did, right? They're trying to get away with it, just like the Wells, right? Just like Leilani. Just like the Megan Boswell case. These dirty bastards, they want to do their fucking evil, but they want to get away with it. They think everybody should feel sorry for them. I say fuck them. That's what I say. I'm going to tell you who I care about. Right there. Right there's what I care about. These beautiful little children. These beautiful little children that had every right to still be on this earth, playing and having fun and being a child. That's who I care about. That's who we're here for. Nothing more, nothing less. God be with them, and God be with us. Amen. Listen, you guys. So many sad cases. So many sad cases out here. I just pray there ain't no more. I'm going to tell you something. Missing children is not my dream out here. I don't want to talk about any more missing children. I want children to stop coming up missing. I want the children we're talking about to be found. I want the children we're talking about to get the justice that they deserve. And I don't want there to be any more children to talk about. I want us to be able to talk about happier things, better things, about anything other than another missing child once these children are found and their cases are solved. That's what I want. And that's what I pray for. I wish that there wasn't a community. I wish there was no need for this community. Because I wish that no children were being harmed in this world or coming up missing. But I'm going to ask, as I always ask every night, please send those prayers up for all of these missing kids. Send the prayers up for Summer Moon, Utah Wells, let us stay focused. Let us stay focused on what really matters. Let us stay focused on these fucking suspects and not let people trying to gaslight us and get the focus off of them. We're not going to get the focus off of Fred Hill, Ziggy. So you can just stop your shit. Ain't happening. Don't come out here using nothing to try to get the focus off of him, because it ain't going to happen. We want the truth that what happened to Summer, and we want Summer found, and we want Summer brought home, and we want justice.
Amen. Well said, baby.
Absolutely, girlfriend. Hey, good to see you. God bless
You too. I just wanted to come up and say, hey, beautiful. Not
you.
not to feel down over what's happened.
Sometimes
You've got me. You've got everybody. But I'll always be here for you. I'm
know,
just a phone call away if you need me.
I don't know. Sometimes I kind of, I always looked at everything out here like, a family that prays together, stays together. Always looked, always felt that we were a family put together by God for these missing kids. And every time, it's like Pam kept being that sheep that went astray. And
You've been kicked in the guts a few times.
and we'll bring her back, and we'll bring her back, and we'll bring her back. And
You started off with someone else, didn't you? When the channel first up and running, you had Mohawk Mama.
When I first started the channel, I had Pam, and I had Sweet Norway, Miss Norway. Miss Norway used to come, and she'd sit with me night after night after night, so I'd have somebody with me.
But there was another woman too that used to come on your panel, and she went over to Daisy's.
I had Wisconsin Mama, and
that's her.
And I had Lisa Kay and Wisconsin Mama.
So you've had a few.
And I found out behind the scenes that Wisconsin Mama and Lisa Kay was plotting against me. They were getting together, and they were plotting against me every ounce and every second they can get. And I didn't, I don't know why, because I was so good. I was so good to Wisconsin Mama. Lisa Kay got on my nerves from day one. She got on my nerves. But I tolerated her as much as I possibly could, for Wisconsin Mama's sake, because they supposedly, was pretty good friends and talking as well. And I would, put up with her on that behalf mostly. But then when I found out they was plotting against me and doing all the bad stuff they was doing and saying all the things they were saying, I had to, get rid of.
People are horrible on YouTube. Absolutely horrible.
Yeah. And, stuff like that makes you,
I don't mind making videos. I was going to start going live.
Hey, girl.
Just to talk to people, and my son said to me, "Mum, please don't start that crap. I don't want anyone coming after us."
You would be great. You would be absolutely amazing, because you really love and care about these kids. And I would not deter you from doing this, because this,
I haven't got it in me.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of sleepless nights. It's a lot of worrisome days. I've
got enough going on with my two.
it's a lot, and then trying to run, run your household and take care of everything else on top of it. It's a lot, and it's something that I gotta say, is something that you
I don't
really.
know how you do it, PG. I don't know how you're doing it now, especially with a baby on board.
I don't know,
It's
girl.
it's a lot of hard work. You don't make any money.
Yeah, it is a
There's
lot.
so much money involved behind the scenes when you're making a video. Making my videos would cost me $60 a month.
Just StreamYard alone is
Oh, yes.
StreamYard alone is $100 if you got the best,
Yeah, you need the
and
best.
and then you got your cable bill, which is another $100 if you want the highest to run all of this, and then you have it costs us, I say, anywhere from 350 $400 a month with all the apps to make the pictures and all the
Yep.
everything you need to make the
You
content.
need an app for this and an app for that.
Yeah, you it just one of Summer's videos can cost me anywhere from 60 to $100, depending what I pick out, what I want,
Exactly.
the effects that I want. Um, as the video's playing, you have to
Yep.
pay for all of that little stuff, and it can be very, very costly. But
I've backed off at the moment. I've got it tomorrow. I've got to take the kids into the government
if you want to do
place
it,
here and get passports done for Dad.
it depends on how much you care, and if you really want to, and you really want to do it or not. Um, my little girl, keeps me motivated. My little girl, she always say, "Mom, have they found Summer yet? Mom, you got to go in. You got to stand up." She'll say, "Mom, these kids need you." She'll ask about Michael. She asks us about Jack and Lily, you know, and
Michael's such a beautiful little boy.
right. And she tells me, she says, "I'm really proud of you, Mom, advocating for these missing kids. I'm so proud of you." You know, my little girl really, I guess she's like me, you know, she reminds me a lot of myself. She's got too much love and kindness, and I'm afraid at some point she's going to, like myself, she's going to get destroyed by evil people, and I hope that don't happen. I hope I can protect her as long as I can, but hopefully, she meets all good people in her life and doesn't know this kind of disappointment, you know, in the world. I don't ever want her to come to YouTube. I don't ever want her to be out here ever. In the future, I don't, I don't suggest that because I just don't want who she is destroyed by people coming at her sideways
Yep.
and being evil and mean to her. Um, you know, I want her to harness the good person she is, hopefully
My
forever and a day.
my son got cyberbullied on remember, Sony Home? You know that Sony game all the kids played years ago? So I don't know what they called it, but you'd walk around in a virtual world.
Right.
Anyway, the crowd he got in with, they had a falling out, so they went and gathered up pictures of Maddie, pictures of Jono, pictures of me, sticking them on other bodies and putting them on display on um, Facebook.
Yeah, and
That's when my daughter was having a a hard time with her mental health.
That's
So I had to put a stop to it.
that's what people do. You're doing something right when people are doing you so wrong. You know, I mean, if evil people don't attack you unless you're doing righteousness. I mean, evil don't attack evil that often. They will. If they do it with you, they'll do it to you.
Yep.
But, and when the good people get out of the way, they'll start attacking one another. But as long as there's a good person in the way, they'll go after that person. They'll do everything they can to, when I came out here, I had people attacking me I didn't even know, that didn't know me. I didn't know them, but they were just attacking me to go along with the other people who did.
I was listening to you one day. I didn't even realize that the channel existed. I was watching little Chloe on my phone. I mean Cleo.
Right.
And this was when Summer first went missing. And I heard you on panel live, and I thought, wow, got to listen to you some more. So I found you. I can't believe they found Cleo so quickly. That was amazing. 2 weeks.
Sometimes, we get lucky and law enforcement, does everything right. And like in Quentin Simon's case, they do everything right and solve the case up pretty quick. And we get, the justice that these children deserve. And we get the peace that we need, along with the child getting, put down and laid to rest in peace. And it's all beautiful. It comes out, the way that it should, in the eyes of the law and in the eyes of the righteousness people out here in the world. But sometimes, you feel like evil's getting away with all their evilness, and law enforcement, is a broken stick, like in Summer's case, a broken stick that ain't gonna do what needs to be done to solve up what needs to be solved. And it can be traumatic, to say the least, traumatic on the people who love this little girl, like her brothers and all of us that have become to love her. And it can be very traumatic, for everyone involved, because they're just not doing.
It's hard not to get involved, isn't it, when you get right into making videos and getting right into the background of it all, and you
It's,
start caring, and then you fall in love with her,
I'm going to tell you,
and then you want to protect her. You can't understand why.
What's the hardest for the creator? What's the hardest for us who are in the background of all of this is that when we're doing all of our research and we're doing, everything it takes to get the answers for these children, we're making the phone calls to the law enforcement. We're making phone calls to the people in the area close to the case. We're talking to sometimes the main suspects and stuff, gathering up all what we can to put the puzzle together, to unravel this mystery of what happened to the child. We're doing it alone, and we're hearing all of this stuff alone, and we're sitting, when we hear a lot of the really tragic stuff, how bad the child was abused, we're the first to hear, the suspicion of the abuse and what type of abuse and how graphic the abuse was and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
We're sitting there. We don't have a whole chat to console one another. We're sitting there and no one's around to console us, and
Yep.
we're just fucking lost in awe and feeling, all this pain and this misery and all this stuff that these children endured and so forth, and it's just eloping us to the point that we're sitting there fucking sobbing for these children, and everything that they was put through and all that was done to them, and we're not understanding how people could do such horrible things to a little child, and we can have complete breakdowns behind the scenes that people out here don't understand, they don't see, they don't know nothing about, and it's just so damn hard on us. And
Sure is.
it can be traumatic and very overwhelming, and and it can keep you awake. It can just mess with, it can mess with your whole psyche and everything, for days at a time. Just not understanding, and
Yep.
it can get to a point that sometimes it can be a little unbearable.
Sure is. Anyway, PG, I'm going to get down. I just wanted to let you know I love you and that I'm here for you.
I love you too, girl. You know it.
Don't let her get to you. Not worth it.
Absolutely not.
Anyway, God bless. Good night.
Hey, God bless. Good night, sweetie. Okay, you guys, keep those prayers going up, because I know that God always listens. When you say in Jesus' holy name, God hears you. So when you go to pray tonight, please put your hands together, bow your head, and ask God to please let these babies be found. Let these babies be brought home. And let these babies receive the justice. Let them receive the justice that they deserve in this world. Most of all, God, please let us know where these babies are. Let us know they're with you and they're okay. And we can move forward and find peace in everything. That's all we ask, God, in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Make sure you pray for these kids, because God is listening. And the only one that can move mountains, the only ones that can part a sea, and the only ones that can uproot a tree and move it to wherever it's going to go, is God Almighty. So please have faith and keep those prayers going up, that God's going to let these children be found and let us know that they're okay. Good night, everybody. God bless. Much, much love.